All right, so we have a basement project here. I have all this stuff that was up on the peg board, and I had all of the backpacks below the pegboard. But I've seen a couple different things online with like gear walls and that type of thing, so I'm gonna try to utilize this whole space here. So I took some stuff down. I don't know if that's where those backpacks are gonna stay, but my first plan is I want to get a shelf above the pegboard, and I got some Coleman stoves I want to put up there just so that they're out of the way. And then on the bottom below, I'm thinking about putting the coolers across and maybe a spot to put boots and that type of thing, and ice fishing stuff, just kind of like general outdoor stuff that you don't use every day, but it'd be nice to have it all in the same spot. So I'll give you updates here along the way. All right, so the first phase here, I took a pine board. That's a 1x12, I guess is what they call it. It's more like, I don't know, is it 11 7/8 or 11 3/4 wide? And that was a 6-footer that I cut down to fit in between the cold air return and then the wall over here. And at first, my idea with the Coleman stoves here was to build like a platform across the top of the coolers here and then slots. But then I realized that the area above the pegboard and even like some of these top, maybe this is the first usable hole, so I went over top with this cleat because you can't use the very top of the pegboard anyway, and that was just wasted space. So I figured that's a good place to put them. There's no fuel in them either. That's one thing I'm not going to store in this area, would be fuel, just because the furnace is too close, and I'd rather keep any flammables out in the garage or the shed. And then I also have a hot plate up here. I figured that's a good place just because that's how it worked out with the spacing. I may change that, but I like the idea of having the stoves up there. This then leaves the pegboard open, and another nice option would be if you want to run some hooks or something in the bottom of the pine board to hang stuff, you could do that. So my next plan, and I'm not sure that's going to be in this video, is I'd like to build a platform just so that it's over the top of the coolers here. And I'm thinking just these three, and then over here I may build something different for boots. I'm not sure, because I do have a small sliver that's kind of in between this chest or whatever, and the chest is going to stay down here because that is full of all my army gear that was issued to me, so that I'm going to keep with this stuff. It just makes sense. So that's kind of what that looks like. And I do have one more stove, but that one's actually a large 2-burner stove, so that won't fit up there as nice. These are like the compact, what are they, the 424s, or I think there's a letter, 425E, I guess. And this one down here is like a 413? 415H. So that one's a little bit larger. That again might fit in somewhere else, but my idea with the shelf is to keep it the distance between the trim and the wall, so that they think like 14.5, run it all the way across. And then I'm thinking we'll keep that about 20 inches high, which should be enough to get coolers in here, or if we get a different style cooler, it'll still fit. And then I'll have this space in here where I might put another shelf, because there again, the way this pegboard was put in, you have like a 1x back in here running the length, so it's not like you can peg anything in these bottom 2 holes. So you could run a strip across again and set a shelf, or set it down a little bit and have the shelf cover this seam. So not real sure, but I'm kind of thinking that's what I'm going to do. Definitely the next step is going to be to run a shelf across the top of the coolers here, and then kind of see how everything else pans out. So that'll be the first of the gear wall project.